Power shifts, secrets unravel, and alliances crumble. Landman. Season 3 is about to push every character to their limits. What happens when ambition clashes with loyalty? When a legacy is threatened? And when the line between friend and enemy disappears completely? If you thought Season 2 was intense, prepare yourself. Season 3 is a storm, and nobody is safe from the consequences. The stakes have never been higher, the risks never greater, and the fallout never more unpredictable. Every decision could ignite chaos, every revelation could destroy what you thought you knew, and every character has something to lose, or someone to betray. The echoes of Monty's empire still resonate across the oil fields, but his absence has left a vacuum that no one can fill without facing consequences. Cammy stands at the center of the storm, determined to honor Monty's legacy, yet haunted by the very same ambition that may destroy her. Season 2 left her isolated, her allies dwindling, and the pressure mounting, yet she remains unbroken, at least on the surface. The documents she discovered, hidden and meticulously untraceable, carry secrets Monty intentionally buried, and the deeper she digs, the more she realizes some truths were never meant to be unearthed. Nate, always the voice of reason, warns her repeatedly that this path is a treacherous one, that power without guidance is a weapon that can wound even the most capable. But Cammy's determination is not just about survival. It's about identity. After Monty's death, she's clung to his vision, to the legacy he left behind, as though by preserving it, she can preserve a piece of him. She fights not just for the company, but for validation, for control, for the undeniable proof that she's more than a shadow of Monty's life. Her confrontation with Galeno revealed the fragility of her support system. Galeno's admission that his loyalty was tied to Tommy's presence leaves Cammy standing alone, stripped of her usual safety nets. This isolation, combined with her stubborn pride, sets the stage for a series of decisions that could either cement her power or trigger a collapse so complete that even she might not recover. Cammy's journey in Season 3 is as much internal as it is external. Her ambition has always been a double-edged sword, capable of elevating her to heights unimaginable, yet just as capable of cutting her down if wielded carelessly. Viewers will watch with bated breath as she navigates corporate intrigue, hidden alliances, and the pressures of a world where loyalty is bought and trust is rare. While Cammy's struggles form one thread of tension, the other half of the story lies with Tommy and the Norris family. Tommy's brilliance, tempered by a surprising dose of pragmatism, has created a formidable foundation for a new empire. With CTT, Cooper, Tommy, and Thomas Oil exploration and cattle, Tommy doesn't just rebuild, he redefines the game. His meticulous planning, the investment secured from Galeno, and the delegation of authority to his trusted inner circle demonstrates a level of foresight that few characters, even in Landman's cutthroat world, could match. Nate, ever the financial guardian, Rebecca, the COO and chief counsel, and Dale overseeing exploration all play essential roles in a structure designed for both efficiency and resilience. Yet, even in the most solid structures, cracks can form, and Season 3 teases those cracks in ways that will keep the audience questioning who is truly in control and what unforeseen threats might emerge. The tension between Cammy and Tommy is the axis around which much of the drama pivots. While Cammy's isolation makes her vulnerable, Tommy's calculated ascent introduces a new type of suspense, one that blends strategy, ambition, and a relentless drive for dominance. Their conflicting visions for Monty's legacy, their approaches to power, and their unspoken history set the stage for a collision that could reshape the landscape of MTEX forever. Cammy might consider negotiation, alliances, or even capitulation, but pride and ego are never easy to set aside. Each decision is fraught with risk, and the audience will find themselves torn between rooting for her resilience and fearing the consequences of her choices. Season 3 also promises to deepen the psychological complexity of these characters. Cammy's internal struggles, her moments of doubt, her flashes of vulnerability, all contrast with the external battles she faces. Boardroom tactics, corporate espionage, and the constant threat of betrayal. Her story is an intricate tapestry weaving together themes of loyalty, ambition, grief, and redemption. Viewers will be drawn not just to what she does, but why she does it, watching as her decisions ripple across the web of relationships and rivalries that define the Landman universe. Beyond Cammy and Tommy, Cooper's arc introduces its own layer of suspense. The events surrounding the back alley incident that led to a man's death, combined with the legal maneuvering orchestrated by Rebecca, have left him temporarily unscathed. But danger lingers. Powerful adversaries may emerge, seeking justice or revenge, and Cooper's actions could serve as a catalyst for new conflicts. His relationship with Ariana, poised on the brink of marriage, offers a momentary reprieve from tension. Yet even personal happiness is never guaranteed in a world where stakes are always high and the line between victory and disaster is razor thin. The first section closes on a note of looming uncertainty. Alliances are fragile, legacies are in jeopardy, and every character's ambition is both a source of strength and a potential downfall. Season 3 begins with a web of interlocking tensions, a world where decisions matter more than ever, and where suspense is built not just through events, but through the very personalities that drive them. The audience is invited to question, predict, and anticipate, setting the stage for a season that promises to be both gripping and unpredictable. Tommy's strategy in Season 3 isn't just about business, it's about building a legacy that can outlast the chaos around him. With CTT firmly established and a $44 million investment secured, he has positioned himself as both a protector and a challenger in the oil world. The leadership structure he has created demonstrates his foresight. Cooper as president brings a fresh perspective and youthful energy, while Tommy as vice president maintains strategic control and guidance. Rebecca's role as COO and chief counsel ensures the operation has both operational efficiency and legal protection, while Nate manages finances with precision, preventing any loophole from being exploited by rivals. Dale and Thomas handle exploration and drilling, maintaining the technical backbone, and Ariana, as office manager, ensures that the human side of the company doesn't collapse under pressure. Each character's role is integral, and the audience will watch how these pieces interact as both internal and external pressures mount. Even with a strong foundation, Tommy knows that the oil business is inherently unstable. Rivals lurk at every corner, ready to take advantage of even the slightest misstep. Galino's investment, while seemingly a boon, carries hidden expectations and potential complications. Past alliances may shift, and enemies thought dormant could resurface, armed with grudges and ambition. The intrigue is compounded by the unresolved questions surrounding Monty's documents. Tommy, with his analytical mind, will undoubtedly see the significance of these papers, but how he chooses to act, or whether he shares the information with his team, could define the season's trajectory. The tension between transparency and secrecy, between trust and suspicion, is a central thread that will keep viewers on edge. Cammy's actions loom large over Tommy's empire, creating a constant shadow of uncertainty. While she may be isolated, her intellect and cunning make her far from powerless. Any attempt to negotiate or compromise could spiral into a battle of wits, where the stakes are not just financial, but deeply personal. Cammy's ambition, coupled with her growing desperation, could lead her to take extreme measures. The audience is left questioning. Will she seek revenge, attempt to reclaim control, or finally step aside? And if she does make a move, how will Tommy respond? The potential clash between these two powerhouses promises scenes rich with strategy, confrontation, and psychological depth. Meanwhile, Cooper faces a precarious path. Though legally unscathed after the incident that resulted in a man's death, the shadow of that event continues to hang over him. Season 3 teases the possibility of revenge, not just from the local elite who resented the man's death, but from opportunistic rivals looking to exploit Cooper's vulnerabilities. Cooper's physical prowess and protective instincts have always defined his character, yet this season tests him in ways that force him to balance morality, legality, and loyalty. His relationship with Ariana adds both motivation and risk. Their love story, though seemingly a moment of happiness amidst chaos, could be leveraged against him, creating emotional stakes that are just as intense as the corporate battles. Another rising tension lies in the world beyond MTEX and CTT, the oil empire itself. Competitors, some old foes and some newly introduced, are watching every move. The economic landscape is shifting, and Tommy's innovative strategies, including the unconventional inclusion of cattle in the business, may attract curiosity, envy, and outright hostility. Even the most minor miscalculations could trigger a chain reaction with severe consequences. Season 3 promises to explore this fragile ecosystem, showing not just the power of ambition, but the consequences when ambition collides with human error, greed, and unforeseen circumstance. Trust, or the lack thereof, is a recurring theme in this section. Tommy's inner circle is strong, but external pressures will test each bond. Nate's financial acumen may be challenged by threats that operate outside legal boundaries. Rebecca's counsel might be tested by ethical dilemmas or personal loyalties. Dale and Thomas could confront the unpredictability of exploration work, where mistakes are costly and outcomes uncertain. Ariana's management of office dynamics and personal relationships may be exploited by enemies who see emotional vulnerabilities as strategic opportunities. In Season 3, every alliance is precarious, and every decision carries potential repercussions that ripple through both personal and professional spheres. The tension between Cammy and Tommy, though central, is only one part of a larger network of challenges. Season 3 also explores the idea that power alone does not guarantee control. Influence, perception, and timing play equally important roles. Tommy's meticulous plans may be undermined by unexpected moves, and Cammy's desperation could become a strategic advantage or a devastating liability. The audience will witness not just battles over resources, but battles over minds, wills, and intentions. Every conversation, every negotiation, every subtle gesture carries weight, shaping the balance of power in ways that are both visible and hidden. This section closes with the sense of inevitability and suspense that defines Landman. The empire Tommy is building, while impressive, is surrounded by forces both human and circumstantial that can disrupt it at any moment. Cammy's determination, Cooper's moral and legal dilemmas, and the looming presence of rivals and hidden agendas all combine to create a web of tension that will drive Season 3 forward. The audience is left with questions. Who will rise? Who will fall? And what sacrifices will be necessary to secure power, survival, and legacy. Season 3 begins with Cammy at a crossroads. She is alone, cornered, and forced to confront the reality that the empire she clings to is slipping from her grasp. Galino's admission that his loyalty was tied to Tommy shattered any illusion of unwavering support, and Cammy now faces a crucial choice: fight alone or step back before losing everything. Her intelligence and ambition remain intact, but isolation magnifies vulnerability. In a world where alliances are currency and betrayal is inevitable, Cammy's decisions will reverberate far beyond the walls of MTEX. She knows she cannot rely on brute force or charisma alone. Every move must be calculated, strategic, and precise. Her mind races with possibilities. Negotiate with Tommy, reclaim the company through cunning maneuvers, or perhaps even forge secret alliances with unknown players. Each choice carries immense risk, and viewers will be gripped by the tension between her desire for control and the looming threat of downfall. This season introduces new adversaries whose motivations are as complex as they are dangerous. Rivals from the oil industry, local elites seeking revenge, and opportunistic outsiders hungry for a foothold in the empire begin to surface. These villains are not simply obstacles. They are catalysts for conflict that expose weaknesses, challenge loyalties, and force even the strongest characters to adapt. Some will manipulate legal loopholes, others will exploit personal relationships, and a few will strike when least expected, creating suspense that keeps the audience questioning who can be trusted. Cammy, while formidable, is now navigating a battlefield filled with hidden traps. Every encounter is a potential ambush, and every ally may conceal ulterior motives. Tommy, though seemingly secure, is not immune to these emerging threats. His empire, carefully constructed and meticulously managed, faces challenges that are not merely financial or operational. They are psychological and strategic. The CTT leadership team must anticipate moves from rivals who are willing to bend rules, compromise ethics, and use intimidation to disrupt the balance of power. Nate's financial strategies, Rebecca's legal expertise, and Tommy's own tactical brilliance will all be tested as new antagonists attempt to destabilize their operations. The stakes are heightened because this is not just about business success, it is about survival, reputation, and the fragile alliances that hold the empire together. Meanwhile, Cooper's storyline takes on deeper intensity. While he has avoided legal consequences for the back alley incident, the potential for retaliation remains. The individuals responsible for protecting the deceased man's interests may take matters into their own hands, targeting Cooper directly or indirectly through threats to the family business. Season 3 explores how past actions reverberate into the present, demonstrating that consequences are rarely confined to the initial event. Cooper's physical strength and moral compass are assets, but he will need strategy, foresight, and the unwavering support of those he trusts to navigate the emerging threats. His bond with Ariana adds another layer of tension. Love, while a source of motivation and hope, also creates vulnerability, leaving both characters open to manipulation and danger. Amid the rising tension, secrets hidden in Monty's documents begin to take center stage. The files that Cammy discovered hold clues not only about past decisions, but also about vulnerabilities that could determine the future of MTEX. Tommy and Cammy's approaches to these secrets differ dramatically. While Tommy relies on analysis, strategy, and careful planning, Cammy's emotional attachment to Monty's legacy could cloud her judgment, making her both sympathetic and dangerous. Each revelation from the documents has the potential to shift the balance of power, creating suspense as viewers wonder who will interpret the information first and how it will be used. The psychological dimension of Season 3 intensifies as characters are forced to make choices that test their ethics, loyalty, and ambition. Cammy's struggle represents the human cost of power, the toll it takes on relationships, self-perception, and mental resilience. Tommy's careful orchestration of his empire shows that intelligence and foresight are invaluable, but even the most prepared can be blindsided by unpredictable forces. Cooper's confrontation with consequences demonstrates that physical ability alone cannot guarantee security, and the new villains emerging in this season provide both immediate danger and long-term tension, forcing every character to confront not just their rivals, but themselves. Season 3 emphasizes that Landman's world is not static. Every victory carries a hidden cost, every alliance a potential betrayal. Cammy's actions, whether calculated or impulsive, will trigger cascading effects that affect the entire landscape. Tommy's leadership, though impressive, will be tested by the unpredictability of human ambition. Cooper's past will continue to haunt him, shaping both personal and professional choices. And the new antagonists will exploit even the smallest missteps, ensuring that suspense remains high and stakes remain real. Viewers will experience a season where every decision, every secret, and every confrontation carries weight, where the outcome is never guaranteed and the tension never fades. By the end of this section, the audience understands that Season 3 is a complex web of strategy, ambition, and consequence. Cammy's isolation, Tommy's empire building, Cooper's vulnerability, and the emergence of new villains all interlock to create a world where power is fragile, loyalty is conditional, and survival is earned through cunning, courage, and adaptability. This section leaves viewers questioning: who will rise? Who will fall? And which moves will tip the scales in the ongoing battle for the Landman Empire? Season 3 escalates quickly into a battlefield where personal ambitions collide with business power, and every choice carries consequences that can't be undone. Cammy's isolation drives her to take bolder, riskier moves than ever before. The audience will see her juggling desperation with intelligence, carefully crafting plans to regain control of MTEX while navigating the shifting loyalties of those around her. She knows that time is against her. The longer she hesitates, the more entrenched Tommy's influence becomes.